Hello YouTube, I'm Jack Clark, the Musketeer, coming to you with another video. Why, yes. So, of course, I've been kind of down with Yu-Gi-Oh! At the moment. I've been like, oh Christ, it's not that interesting. But of course, Yu-Gi-Oh! Konami, you always find a way to draw me straight back in with Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 stuff that we just got from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization right now. I'm uber excited. So, of course, in the description down below, there will be links to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization. Fantastic website. You need to have them on your bookmark, man. They just post out all this cool content, and they have very good translations, and they get all the information soon. So I'm going to be talking about a couple of new updates that they've got and they put on, but including two, but not limited to, stuff from Duelist Advent, new starter deck stuff, and pendulum monsters aplenty, and hippos, because a video about hippos is not a video worth filming. So I'm going to go chronologically with the most important stuff. In addition to Darkstroke Fighter, its actual effect now in the OCG is going to be reprinted, and it's going to be once per turn during your main phase. And you're going to use this Darkstroke Fighter, of course, once per turn, but it's during your main phase 1. And that's going to be a card that's going to be reprinted, and it looks like actually it's going to come off the ban list. It's going to be off the ban list in its entirety, so you can use 3 copies of this new version of it. And of course, the OCG are getting Zen Mighty back, so that's pretty interesting. So the first thing is Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, which is a level 7 pendulum monster, 2500 attack, 2000 defense, dark dragon monster. Now we had an Odd Eyes Dragon, which is coming in the starter deck, I think, and it has 2500 attack, 2000 defense, level 7, and we thought, oh no, this looks like the protagonist's main card, and all it did was when it destroyed a monster battle, it was like Wingman, but it only did half the damage. It only did half the attack as damage, and that was pretty kind of lackluster. But now, no, we have Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, and the picture of the dragon actually matches the silhouette of this big-ass dragon that we had Yuya Sakaki in the promotional material of Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5. So this will be the starter's main card. So Odd Eyes, the Eyes Dragon is going to be used by the main character in this one, which, as much as everyone's like, oh my god, it's got 2500 attack points, that's blasphemy, it's supposed to have 3000, I was like, Red Eyes is a thing, leave it out. So, for those of you who don't know what pendulum monsters do, I do suggest you go look those up. But basically, pendulum monster. So it's got a red scale of 4 and a blue scale of 4 as well. And it's got a couple of effects. Of course, they're like spell and monsters at the same time. So the number 1 effect and the number 2 effect, pendulum effects of Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon can only be used once per turn. The first pendulum effect is that you can reduce the battle damage you take from a pendulum monster you control attacking or being attacked to 0. The second effect is during your end phase, you could destroy this card to add a pendulum monster of 1500 or less attack from your deck to your hand. So kind of a Sangan for pendulum monsters during your main end phase if you destroy him, which is very good because you can just play a pendulum monster from your hand as a spell card in your pendulum zone for, I'm assuming, no tributes, because it will be treated as a spell card so at that point. However, it does of course have a monster effect alongside this, and the monster effect is, I shit you not, if this monster attacks or is attacked by an opponent's monster, battle damage to your opponent is doubled. And with 2500 attack, 2000 defense, and being the main character's ace monster, that is going to get support. I'm quite excited. It's quite a derpy looking dragon, but it looks cool, and I think it's got a lot of potential, especially considering its damage it does is doubled. So I'm expecting lots of cool support, and lots of interesting support, no less. Now the next thing, which is probably the most important thing, is that they're introducing a new monster type. Now of course the last monster type that we got introduced was Psychics, and that was way back in Duelist Genesis. So with the Duelist Advent, they are doing the same with a new monster type, which is being translated, which is Genryu Zoku, or Genryu Zoku or Genryu. And if you heard that, yeah, Ryu. So basically, this new type is Legendary / Mystic Dragon type. Translation, of course, notwithstanding. So basically, there's another dragon type, but it's a Legendary Dragon. And I must say, the artwork is beautiful. It's kind of like Fairy type had sex with dragons. No, this one looks like a tiger. Pretty damn odd. So basically, there are Legendary Dragons, but that's now a newer type. Now this archetype is pretty damn interesting. There is the Dragon Star archetype, and if they don't make a Crimson Dragon card now with the Dragon Star as their archetype, they're really missing a trick. It's a synchrocentric archetype, and they have a grand total of 4 cards released so far. However, we don't have the information on their synchro monster, so we're going to go through them, and they are basically a recruiter. So when you control them and they are destroyed by battle or by card effect, you get to summon a Dragon Star from your deck, except another one of themselves, or with the same name as themselves. So first off, we have a level 1 tuner, which has that first effect, of course, and of course that effect can only be used once per turn, but of course When a Dragon Star monster you control is destroyed by battle or by a card effect in the graveyard, while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon it back from your graveyard, and if you do, banish it when it leaves the field. So it's pretty interesting, allowing you to recur its effect, and of course being a tuner monster, and a level 1 tuner as well, means that not only can you recur it with 1/1, but it also means that as a archetype specific tuner, it means you can reuse it for their Dragon Star Synchro monster, which we don't have the information for, but if it's anything like Michael Lightsworn Arc, or whatever its name is, I'm expecting big things from it. Next off, we have a level 3 Dragon Star called Hyken, which is an Earth Genryu type. I'm going to call them Genryu. Legendary Dragon sounds a bit too retarded. We don't know its attack and defense at the moment, of course, and it has the first effect that when it's destroyed by card effect, by battle or by card effect, you can special summon another Dragon type, a Dragon Star monster from your deck in face-up defense position, except another copy of itself. Of course, that effect can only be used once per turn. That's pretty standard throughout all of them. So its unique effect is that during your opponent's main phase or battle phase, you could perform a synchro summon using only Dragon Star monsters you control as synchro materials. And the next effect is a synchro monster summoned using this card as a synchro material monster cannot be destroyed by battle. Ooh. So this is kind of like Formula Synchron, and it's pretty damn interesting. It gives it an additional effect, meaning it can't be destroyed by battle, so maybe that will kind of work with the Synchro monster specifically, but it's a generic effect as well, so if you use it, it could be good. So we now have the Fire Dragon Star Shungi, or Shungei, which is a 1900 attack point, 0 defense monster. So 1900 attack points is always good. Of course, it has the recruiter effect that all the Dragon Stars have, and it also has the being able to use as a synchro material during your opponent's main phase or battle phase, but of course only using Dragon Stars. And of course, a monster is synchro summoned with him gains 500 attack and defense, which actually could it kind of tips a couple of synchro monsters over the edge. So having a 3k Starter Spark Dragon, that's pretty damn groovy. It's kind of like how Extra Sword, you attach it to whatever Xyz monster you have, and then that monster becomes really good. Like immediately, if you give like Maestro 1,000 attack points, that card just becomes ridiculous. Doing this for synchro may be interesting. Being a 1900 attack point monster also helps as well. So it'd be interesting. These Genryu cards, there's so many cards and it's so interesting. Of course, like I said, link in the description. I'm just blabbering on and on. These are pretty damn cool. And of course, being the brand new archetype, using the brand new type, these will definitely get good support because they're a new type now in their own right, not just an archetype. But actually, they're also an archetype as well. So unlike the psychic monsters, they didn't make them generic from the offset, so they actually felt like they could have some kind of splashability. I mean, with Yu-Gi-Oh, you have various different types, but they're not exclusive to like a certain kind of deck. You can splash them with anything else, but they've introduced them as just an archetype at the beginning, so making them a brand new type, the Legendary Dragon Genryu type, it kind of seems redundant. But of course, we may see some generic Genryu cards, probably one Genryu card that they're going to release in the Duelist Advent, which will be secret rare and really, really good and really, really splashable. So I'm looking forward to that and what it's going to do to the competitive scene. It's inevitable. I'm calling it now. But next off, we have Hippos, because what video would be complete without Hippos? Now, there are lots more interesting cards that I could talk about in this video, but I'm not. Basically, I'm just going to go through this next card, which is Entomate Discover Hippo. Probably will get a new name in the TCG. Slightly convoluted, especially considering you say Entomate, and it just says, I'm just thinking intimate, and that just sounds a bit weird. It is a level 3 Earth Beast type effect monster, 800 attack, 800 defense. During your main phase of the turn that this card is normal summoned, you can tribute summon a level 7 or higher monster in face-up attack position in addition to your normal summon effect. So it's kind of like a Pollux for level 7 and higher monsters. However, of course, as its name would suggest, you have to use it during the turn it's normal summoned. So basically it means you already have to have a monster on the field already. So basically, this is the card that our new protagonist in Arc 5 is riding on in the promotional material. So this is going to be the card that you're going to use to be able to tribute summon his Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, or his Odd Eyes Dragon. And it's a pretty interesting card. Being generic is also very good, and I'm sure there'll be some way, shape or form that can abuse this card. And maybe the Mega Monarchs, not quite sure, don't really care. Kind of interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Of course, links in the description down below. There's so many cards to talk about, but I'm not going to talk about the other ones, simply because that can start for another video. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Of course, links, I will say it once, I'll say it again, links in the description. Tell me what you think about any of the cards I've talked about in today's video. That's pretty much it. I'm Jack Clark, Yu-Gi-Oh! Musketeer. More videos coming out soon, and I've been just kind of feeling that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a bit dull for me at the moment, but then they bring it back. Fuck you, Konami. Can't quit you!